Imagine telling a child who's broken their leg to just think better, get better. Just try to think more positively and maybe it'll stop hurting. Imagine telling that to a child. So when we are telling people who have a different journey than us that they must be doing it wrong because you have set the example. And now, if they aren't at the same level as you in the same time period, that means that they are failing. That means that they don't want to progress. When the fact is that you probably don't know what they want. But if you thought about it, you would know that of course they want to progress. Of course they do. But sometimes we might think that just because our journey was hard, that it was the hardest, that we had the most constraints to work through, when that is probably not the case. So instead of telling people, well, just you're just not ready for this. You just probably don't want enough. You're probably allowing this to happen to yourself. Instead of blaming them at every direction, which is what the spiritual community does, how about considering and using your intuition to think, I wonder why these people might not be in the same place that I would expect I would be if I were in their shoes. It might give you some answers. And then in that case, instead of blaming them and perhaps harming them in the process, making them think something is wrong with me, and then making their progress go even slower, maybe, just maybe, you could offer solutions that might actually be helpful. Because just like that child cannot think their way out of a broken leg or it hurting, nobody can think their way positively through certain constraints. They have to go step by step. That's why we are in linear time. Sometimes we have to go step by step, and sometimes those steps don't coincide with the step that you have had to take, even if you did have a hard time at some point in your life. So, just something to consider.